Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back for another Music is My Business podcast / live Q&A / when we just sit here and geek out about sync. Shout out to everybody in the stream, man. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. I want to see who's in the building. Shout out to my Sync Producer Hub members. I see y'all. We got David. We got G-Fi in the building. We got Jeremiah. We got Larry. What's good, y'all? If you guys have any questions at any time, if you're in the private Sync Producer joint, just raise your hands. We can bring you up on audio or video if you so choose. If not, then just drop it in the chat and we'll answer the question anyway. And then if you're just on the regular stream, you should really be inside the Sync Producer. But if you choose to be in the regular stream on YouTube, drop your question in the chat and we'll still try and answer it. Listen, I'm not going to play y'all and just leave y'all hanging because y'all ain't in the VIP, but it's all good. So yeah, we took last week off because, I'm sure you've heard by now the massive hurricane that kind of swept through the southeast. Everything is good here. It actually didn't get as bad as it could have gotten, at least where we stay. I know like the city of Atlanta has some heavy flooding. So that was pretty inconvenient for a lot of people. Definitely did not get hit as hard as Asheville. Asheville, man, they got it bad. So prayers for everybody in that community. Pretty devastating, but all is well here. Glad to be back. Since we took last week off, there were a lot of wins that just have been taking place. They've been taking place, man, and we're gonna go through a few of these. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get through all of them. Like, there was so many people winning in the community. We got Veteran Beats in the building. What's up, bro? G-Fi in the building. What's good? So yeah. There we go. Let's move that so we can see that. So let's go through some wins. Let's see. They're kind of, oh man. All right, let's see. I think we did that. We shouted Miguel out. November James with a win. How I got a director excited to have me score future film projects. It says, hint, it wasn't the music I created. So he says, another film score in the bag. This is my first short film and first film capturing Foley. Don't sleep on Foley as a service. The director didn't ask me to do it. I just did it. Shout out to, that's a gem. My client explained to me he's juggling multiple film projects. Before we got started, all I heard was, these deliverables better be fire because I got work in the pipeline. So what I do, sketched out the score on a Thursday through Sunday and slapped that Foley art in there. I don't think he really knew how his film could sound. Well, to be honest, I didn't either until I tried. I saved him time and possibly have more projects in the future. So you can't see if you're listening to audio or even if you're watching on video, but he shared some screenshots. If you're in the community, you can see it, but he shared some screenshots of like the conversation that was going back and forth. And yeah, it looks like he just opened up like a pipeline of work. So that's super dope. What's up, Ray? From Claremont, good to see you. Morning, Larry Bradshaw. What's good, bro? So shout out to November James, man. Super dope. Man, when it comes to especially films, independent films, man, just figure out how many problems you can solve, because like when you become like more than just a composer or more than just a musician, bro, like it just opens up so many opportunities, because now he's positioning himself as just like irreplaceable, because now if the director's looking for another composer may not think like November James did, where it's just like, yo, I'm gonna throw the Foley in here and just develop this whole thing and bring it to life. Whereas another composer may just be like, I'm only gonna focus on the music. That's all I'm getting paid to do. Y'all know how y'all be sometimes. Oh, this is the only thing I'm getting paid to do. This is all I'm gonna do. Do a little bit more. I'm telling you, it'll take you a long way. So now he's kind of positioning himself as a composer of extreme value because he knows how to do these other things. And I've heard other friends in the biz approach things the same way. Video game placement, sound design, like figure out other things you can do that makes it harder for you to just be replaced with just another composer, right? So that's super dope. Huge win there. Let's see. Shout out to Jason Carpenter. He's on TV. He shot a Thursday Night Football commercial, and now it's finally airing. It's like low key. It's not like music sync, but it's like it's facial sync. Like, shout out to Jason. He's like on video on a Thursday Night Football commercial. Crazy, multi-talented out here. Let's see. We got Joe. Joe says it finally happened. He says, team, I signed my catalog non-exclusively with a boutique sync agency last week. Thanks to everyone in this community and to Anthony Clint Jr., of course, for sharing his wisdom. Much appreciated, man. Glad I can share. Now to try to secure some more, man. Shout out to Joe winning, got that deal in place with the sync agency. I love it, man. Next up is the placements. That's it. We're gonna have to talk about this today as well. So if y'all got questions, start thinking of your questions. We drop a question, but we got something to talk about. Miguel shared a win, and it was interesting because we're gonna circle back around to that. Marcellus with a huge win. So reclaiming my time, I decided to step out on faith and put in my 2 weeks at my job and pursue music full time. Working 7 to 7 overnight, 80 to 120 hours every 2 weeks provides me security, but not the lifestyle I know I can achieve. I was able to invest in equipment, but at the same time, it allowed me to get too comfortable, fall behind on music projects, and neglect my network. I still managed to bring in $1,000 a month with piano lessons and music production without marketing, so I can only imagine my earning potential if I tap into all my resources. I consider this a win because I won my time back. Man, that is huge. Congrats and shout out to Marcellus for taking that huge leap of faith. And you're right, bro. Like, when you get your time back, that thing is time is powerful, boy. Like, especially when you gain traction while you're juggling the 9 to 5. I remember I finally quit, and man, I was just like, yo, I immediately the next year after, it was night and day from what I would have made staying at the day job to what I made just being 100% focused. Like the value you get in just being able to focus is just crazy. Like it takes things to another level. So excited for you, Marcellus, on your journey and as a full-time producer and doing all the things you got going. So shout out to you. Let me see. We got Jamont network placement. Jamont Reese. Hello, Sync Hub family. Just received my first network placement on a song I produced. Congrats, man. I love network placements too. Those pay great. We got a huge win. My guy Jacob. Hold on. This one is okay. All right, so GMA Dove Awards. For those who don't know, I've worked in the Christian music market for over 10 years now, primarily in the hip hop and Latin side of things. The Dove Awards is the main award show besides the Grammys for Christian music. That's a fact. Country music has the CMAs, Christian music has the Doves. All that to say, I was able to win my 4th Dove, had the opportunity to work on an album for an artist, KB, and his album HGA2 won Hip Hop Album of the Year. Super stoked about it. Here's a link to the main single of the album. I produced it and featured on it as well. Super dope, man. Shout out to Jacob on the 4th Dove, not the first one, the 4th one. And shout out to KB. KB's on my playlist. I got him on Definitely some on one of my workout playlists. I think I even had him. I might have had him on my on my wife's playlist when we had our first son. So we created like two music playlists. One was just like chill, relaxation, ambient music, and the other was like she was like, "Yo, create me something to where it like we in that joint and we need to push." She was like, "I don't want to be relaxed. Like I want all the smoke." So we had to create something a little hype, upbeat. Yeah, I think KB definitely made it to that playlist too. So that's dope, man. I love it. All right, so let me get to some questions, and then we're gonna talk about one of these other wins, and something that somebody shared in the community that was very, very interesting. So we're gonna talk about that. We got Gavino got it. Says got a placement out with a huge artist recently, but the label requires a placement fee and a 60-40 split. This seems a bit weird. I just want to know how you feel and if I should trust it and go on. The label requires a placement fee. I don't know why. I don't know why the label requires a placement fee, because if the label owns the master, then they should just, usually they would collect, the portion of the sync fee from the master. Unless it's like an all-in thing and then they just split it out of that, maybe. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that, what the agreement looks like. So unfortunately, I can't really, advise. But for me, it would depend on what the agreement looks like. Is it like a non-exclusive thing? Can I still pitch this track to more opportunities? Or is this like just it? But if it's something where I can like relicense it, yeah, I'll probably just go ahead, take your whatever 60%. I'm gonna just relicense this thing. That's the power of sync. Like you can relicense it however many times you want. Let me see. We got Chris Diaz question for you. Me and my girl, who is a professional singer, live together and wanted to live off making music. What makes more money, just beats or songs with lyrics? I mean, in regards to sync, it depends. I think ultimately a song with lyrics would pay more for in terms of like sync fees and things like that and royalties. But then on the flip side, depending on which network those placements are on, you could line up an instrumental with a full song and have differences in network, differences in type of usage, and differences in length of use. And an instrumental could beat the vocal track out. So, you can make money with both. But typically, just because of the nature of an instrumental and a full song, typically full songs make more. You kind of get paid more for those. But, there's composers, I think like the majority of my catalog has been like instrumental until maybe the last few years. I've been kind of focusing more on songs, but I still do instrumental stuff all the time as well. So it depends on what you put your focus on. Like you can't go wrong with full songs, you know what I mean? Because you automatically get the instrumental out of that. Steven says, if I wanted to use my music in my own commercial and I wanted to collect my royalties, how would I go by this? That is very interesting. Like you would essentially, pay okay. If it's airing on TV, like you shot the commercial and then you made the music, register that music with your PRO. Just register with your PRO. And then like as far as upfront sync fee, you would just be paying yourself basically. So depending on how you want to do that. But yeah, just make sure it's registered with your performing rights organization, so that way if anything airs, you'll be covered there. B-Rad says, I have a serious lack of knowledge when it comes to plugins, Feedback has said my sounds are too preset. Like, how do we select appropriate plugins for sync, and how big of a variety do we need? You know what, man? I think that comes with listening and experience. You play around with different sounds, listening to different sounds, listening to music, you know, hot songs, popular songs that's been, you know, I was gonna say professionally produced, but that's highly debatable. But you know, songs that at least sound good for whatever genre you're trying to do. And then again, man, I think it's more so about like what you do with the sounds in the mix, because I'll pull up some stock Logic sounds, bro. Like, I have placements on Catfish just using what's Logic's that plugin, that synth, yeah, you guys know what I mean. It's like my stock version of Omnisphere in Logic. Alchemy, yes, thank you. Shout out to the Logic users in the building. But dude, Alchemy will get the job done. Now, when you start tweaking EQs and you're like taking out all of the warmth and the depth and over compressing, and then things sound really thin, that's when you start to get in trouble with just over processing things. So I honestly think it's just a matter of listening, studying music, and just experimenting, man. You know, and then depending on what you're using, and then, you know, save up for and try out different you know, more expensive libraries. And then once you start getting a taste of those, you start to hear some of the differences sonically and some of that stuff. And then before you know it, you know, you try and go back to some other things, like, you know, and you can tell the difference. So I think it's just a matter of like finding those right plugins and just not doing too much in terms of processing. So yeah. All right. So let's talk about this. So first off, there's a win. Miguel had a win. Pond 5 earnings. And this is going to segue into what I wanted to bring up earlier. So I just received an email from Pond 5. I checked my account and there are earnings from the AI learning, which they call data set gains. They paid me $400. Y'all know I'm separating my 30% for taxes, and whatever is left, I'm getting myself a new audio interface. Don't sleep on Pond 5 for non-exclusive tracks. It's a great library. So now let's go back to this post that Angel had posted in the community about this exact same thing. So now I gotta find it. I gotta find it, man. It was crazy. So let's see. I just seen this like yesterday, I think, or the day before. Where did I see that? Where did I see that post? Wait, I know what I can do. Yes, we are about to talk about that. Here we go. I found the post that Angel made. It was 2 days ago. All right, so I had no idea that this was happening until Angel shared it with us inside the Sync Producer Hub. She said, okay, so I'm in a Discord community of producers and someone mentioned about data set earnings and the amount of what everyone got. A lot of them claiming $500 to $2,000. So if you are with Pond 5, you might want to go and check your account, which I immediately did after that. You can find it on the finances tab through your dashboard. 854 for me, but hey, that means I should upload more. Here's the section on what data set earnings are. All right, so we're gonna read that. Well, let's just read it. What are data sets? Data sets are a product offering developed to support companies building computer vision and large language models, LLMs, AI, essentially. Data sets are sets of content and metadata organized by a specific theme or topic that can include, I can't talk today, it's impossible, images, including photos, illustrations, and vectors, videos, music, and sound effects. They're comprised of various metadata, including keywords, titles, and descriptions. So they provide a potential new source of revenue by expanding our reach to new customers and industries, including AI researchers and leading technology developers and manufacturers. Some of the data sets Pond 5 licenses are in collaboration with Shutterstock and include both Pond 5 and Shutterstock content. You can find supporting information on blah, blah, blah here. So you can opt out of this. I think they automatically opt you in, but you can opt out if you want to. If you're like, I don't want my music training nothing. Or you could just stay opt in and boom. So the crazy thing about this was we received a payment for this. I want to say it was like sometime last year we received a payment. It wasn't crazy. Like, I don't know, maybe double digits, at least for the catalog that I have in there. I thought there was a one-time thing. Like, they just go through, scan the music you have uploaded on there already, and then here you go. We're going to send your music off to be trained. And obviously they sent a notice about this, and I must have ignored it and never opted out. So yeah, they paid your fee. So I thought, okay, it was just like a one-time thing, because it's just like, how many times can you like take the same music to train something? I guess I don't know. I don't really understand everything that goes into building computer vision and large language models. It's not my field of expertise. So I didn't think anything of it. It was like, cool, like, go get a chicken sandwich combo. We're good. All right. So now this came around and it took a significant jump. Mind you, I have not uploaded any new music to Pond 5. Honestly, I don't even remember the last time I've uploaded something on Pond 5, because I was using it as, like, my upload strategy was, I had a bucket of tracks, obviously, for all my sync stuff, and then a separate bucket of tracks for all of my, like my beat store and all of that stuff. So everything I would upload to my beat store, I would also upload to my non-exclusive libraries, including Pond 5, because why not, right? Non-exclusive stuff. I'm just leasing these beats. Nothing is exclusive. All non-exclusive stuff. So boom, let's just put it in as many baskets as possible. So that was a part of my upload strategy. We would just boom, beat store, upload on Pond 5, drop a YouTube video. We just had a whole, just the whole thing, the whole thing. Right. So I haven't uploaded anything in a minute. I haven't even produced anything for the beat store in a minute. Again, just going back to focus, man. I was just like, I'm making money with the beat store, but it's just like, let's just focus 100% on sync. I like to get rid of distractions every so often. So that's what I did. So I haven't uploaded anything in years. So to see a hike in payment, I think I got like $400 in this recent payout of the data set earnings. So now I'm like, okay, like, is this a reoccurring thing? Does this, because it's not even like, it's not even frequent. It seems random, honestly. Like, I don't know if they're like cutting different deals with companies, or if the companies are coming back like, yeah, like, is this a license? You know what I mean? There's so many different things that, I don't know. It's different. It's new. So I don't know. Would it be worth it to continue uploading on Pond 5 and building a catalog? Are we getting paid according to how many tracks we have in that catalog? It's interesting. Are these companies using this music to train their AI to hopefully not do what, this issue with Suno and all these other ones doing, where they're basically taking other people's loops and, turning and just creating something off of existing music. But hopefully they're like actually using it to train to be able to create truly original music. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions regarding that, but I did think it was interesting. Aaron says, and Eric streamed this afternoon, I think we figured it to be about $2 and change per track on this payment. Okay, so I guess the payment would be in proportion to, or in relation to how many tracks you actually have in the catalog. And then if you're getting paid about $2 per track, then that's what you get. But yeah, that's interesting, because $2 per track, it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but I mean, when you have hundreds of tracks up there, that can add up pretty quick. Especially for something, again, we created the music one time, you upload it once, continue to get paid for it. So I don't know. Ray says, Eric Copeland had a live podcast today about AI and Pond 5. It's very interesting. Shout out to Eric, man. Yeah, dude, he like, I'm sure it piqued his interest as well, because we had a conversation. I know he has stuff on Pond 5 and some other stock music sites. So yeah, it just had everybody's just like, wow, what is this? So now, instead of getting a chicken sandwich combo, maybe we'll just go all in and get a steak dinner. I don't know. Shout out to steak on Pond 5 tonight. G5 says, another payout. I thought that there was going to only be one since that's exactly what I thought. This has utterly confused us all. There was some discrepancy between full tracks and cut downs. Ooh. Refunds coming back, maybe? I wonder if there will be any future payouts for newly uploaded tracks to Pond 5. I don't know. Ray Garcia says fish and chips, right? Just go all in. Then maybe even toss in some dessert, So yeah. So if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. We got a little bit of time. I'm gonna go through some questions. So yeah, man. It's just, AI is so interesting. Like, we're just all figuring this stuff out as we go. Yep. So we'll see. I don't know. Should we go back? Should we start uploading music to Pond 5 again? Some have never stopped. And Pond 5, honestly, I liked Pond 5. I mean, it was simple, straightforward. You can set your prices. I've gotten a Fox business placement from something that was licensed through Pond 5. So you could even, swing some sync stuff, some TV stuff from there. So no more like we weren't sure if cut downs were counted the same as full tracks in the. Oh, I got you. Okay, got you. So maybe possibly like a different price for the cut downs versus the $2. Michael Connor has entered the building. What's up, Michael? So if we are getting some money for this from Pond 5 and an exclusive library wants one of those tracks, do we have it pull from Pond 5? I wouldn't do that, honestly. I just feel like that could just create some issues, because again, like, it's not a ton of transparency as far as like, and I don't know, maybe, yeah, I don't see them mention like specific company names or anything, but we don't know where the music is going, how it's actually going to be used. Because again, companies that have been in lawsuits claimed that, you know, they're just using music to train it, but then it's creating original music. And then later on we find out, nope, that's not the case. We had a conversation with Dave from 52 Qs about his situation. Go back, you know, a few podcast episodes and you can check out that conversation and see how that went. But yeah, if you have it on Pond 5 non-exclusively, especially if you've been getting licenses from it or you've gotten paid from this whole data sets thing, I would just leave it on there and just let that be its home, versus pulling it for an exclusive opportunity. Because if anything happens, and you know, yeah, you just don't want any confusion. Cloudsville Collector says, has the sync license route been more fruitful than producing directly for artists? For me personally, absolutely. It's absolutely been more fruitful. I'm the type of person where I like to double down and focus on things that are working. Not to say the artist thing wasn't working. It was just a long time between placements. And when you want something a little more consistent, a little more controlled, meaning you can control the level of output in sync. And when you know the right things to do, you know how to structure your music, you know what editors are looking for and how to optimize your music for that. You know who to reach out to in order to get a sync publishing deal. When you know how to build a proper playlist to get them to open the email, right, and listen to your music. When you know those things, the chances of getting more TV placements increase, because it's like it's a formula. Like, you plug this in, the output is going to be somewhere around here. You know what I mean? You know, if I reach out to 3 to 5 publishers every day for 30 days, the law of averages says, like, somebody got to hit me back. Like, I got to get some type of feedback putting that kind of output out there. So for me, you know, for the amount of time that it takes to go back and forth with artist managers, the artist, the vision for the album, you know, the direction they're trying to go, and then go a different direction, and all of a sudden the album comes out and they just went with the same direction they've been going for the past 10 years, and then everybody just wasted their time. Versus sync, here's the brief, we want this kind of music, you make that kind of music, you send it, you know, you got a 50-50 chance it gets placed. Either it works or it doesn't, you know. You do that so many times, the output is just gonna be better, for me. So yeah, that's why I just focused, started focusing on sync, man. And when you kind of go around and take a different route, and go directly to the money makers, because even, I mean, you can ask any artist, any producer, songwriter, you look at the royalty checks, the chunks of money on the royalty checks, a lot of that stuff is it's gonna come from sync. So why not just go directly to sync where the money's being made? Because, you know, you can produce a ton of music for an artist, but if you're working on songs that just aren't syncable, you're not gonna get synced, not gonna make a bunch of money. Like, you'll get your producer fee or whatever, but that's about it. And then when you're dealing with labels, you know, usually that producer fee is in advance, so, you know, you don't see mechanicals until you recoup that advance. So yeah, I like sync. It's been good to me. Garvey says sync allows you to master your business goal. 100%, man. Like, you can pick, like, what you want to work on. You want to work on this or not? No, fine. Nobody's mad at you. You get you know, you can get 7 briefs in the email. Pick which ones you want to work on. Like if you feel like you want to get experimental and do a genre you've never done, do it. You know, so a lot more control, I think. What's up, Khalif? Ray Garcia says, I've been using Waves plugins forever for post audio. Are they being used as much with composers? What is the more popular brand name plugins used by composers? So I have some go-to Waves. I have some go-to Waves things. However, man, there's some good plugins out here, man. Where like, you know, back in the day, Waves was that company where it was just like, yo, you have the Waves bundle? Like, bro, you are professional. You're the one. You got that gold or that diamond or any of those things that used to cost thousands of dollars. Like, that was it. Like, that was the peak of plug-in ownership. Now, man, you have so many companies that's coming out with quality things, man. Like, I've been using a lot of just solid state Logic's native plugins. Sound great, man. I mean it's SSL, but they've been doing a really good job at like creating plugins and then also creating hardware to work with those, and it's just been a dope experience. Plugin Alliance, I have some plugins from them, and they have good stuff on there from some dope vendors, and man, so many good ones. So you can get the job done without Waves. Now I have a lot of sessions where there's a bunch of like Wave stuff on there, so you know, I make sure like I have those so that I can just open those sessions without having to do a bunch of remixing and tweaking. But I also think Waves makes a lot of great utilities for like audio editing and things like that. Which, Ray, let me know, man. Like I would love to have a conversation with you and at like one of these days, one of these podcasts, because you have like post editing experience, and I think it would be unique to get your perspective, given your background. So let me know, man. Hit me up inside the hub, shoot me a DM or something if that's something you'd be interested in. I think it'd be extremely valuable to hear your perspective on things, because now like you're kind of seeing both sides, just as a composer and then as a guy who's worked in the post field, we'll call it. So I think that would be dope. Hoping to use sync for exposure and revenue stream. Boom, easy. I hear what you're saying. I'm working on a track for a well-known gospel bassist. My sync head point of view, does the track have a sting in? I know, right? That's hilarious. Like, yo, you should really consider a sting ending so we can open this song up for sync opportunities. That's funny. So yeah. If you guys have questions, shout out to new people in the stream. Drop them in the chat. If you're inside the Sync Producer Hub VIP stream, you can raise your hand if you want to be brought up on audio or video. I'll bring you up. So yeah, definitely been a super interesting week with all, you know, this Pond 5 stuff going on. I don't know. I wonder if any other companies like stock music libraries are doing this as well. I wonder. I also wonder, like, how long can this be done before the LLMs are just, I don't know, fully trained, or is it something that could just be ongoing? Like, because music is always evolving. The styles is kind of like, we're kind of like always needed because we're the ones like setting the trends and all that stuff as humans. So AI is like following us and being trained from us. So, you know, is this something that could continue and then possibly be a potential revenue stream for composers to, I don't know, train AI stuff? Aaron says Eric mentioned Audio Sparks, I think. Okay. I have to check that. I have some stuff on Audio Sparks. It's been decades since I uploaded something new. Audio Sparks was just a very extremely exhausting process in terms of metadata. It was overwhelming. It just. I mean, they have good opportunities. I've even gotten some. I've gotten like a license. You paid a nice chunk of money too from there. A lot of like internet radio streaming stuff comes through the stuff I put on Audio Sparks years ago. But man, it took like 17 hours just to upload the stuff. And put the data that actually gets the stuff licensed. So, I don't know. But I'll have to check it out to see if that's something they're doing too. Or you mentioned Eric said they were doing it. So I don't know. Let's check Audio Spark and see if we got a random surprise payment. Then we get 2 steak dinners in a row. Right? All right, we got a question from the homie G5. Let's bring G5 up. Yo, what's up, G?
What's up, Clint? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Let me throw some headphones on so I don't kill the
All right.
people's ears with echoes.
Okay. Can you hear
All
me?
right. Yep, I can hear you, man.
Okay, cool, cool. I have a couple of questions, two different questions.
Yeah.
One is about plugins for bass to kind of bring out, I don't know, I guess a good bass or 808
Hmm.
sound. For example, I used to use Wave plugins, but now I'm using other ones for just like to bring up the sub sound
Okay. Okay.
instead of using R bass. I was
Hmm.
wondering if you are using any substitute to R bass, or are you just sticking with R bass if you use it at all?
Yeah, I do. I do use Arbase. But I also use was it Jules Jaden? Uh,
The saucy distortion?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I use that on 808s
Hmm.
and basses and some other things sometimes. What's another one? Sausage fattener. That will definitely bring out pretty much anything, like anything you put that thing on. It's
All
gonna
right.
beef it up. Um, those are like two of the main ones outside of our base. Oh, recently, what is it? Chrome, the Logic's new. Do you use Logic? Are you a Logic user
Yeah, I'm a
as
Logic
well?
user.
Their new, not distortion, saturation plugin. I can't remember the
Oh,
name of it.
uh, dang it. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna have my Logic open right now.
I'm about to search it because now it's gonna bug me.
Let's see here. I don't.
Chroma
I don't know.
Glow.
Chroma. Okay.
Chroma Glow. Try
Okay.
that out. That could help as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I've used that on a couple things, and like you can. There's some settings in there you can kind of change. But yeah, I like it. Right inside of Logic. But yeah, those are like the main ones I'll use. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much it as far as like things that go directly on like my 808 or bass plugin.
Okay. There are two other ones that I use sometimes. Kind of depends on what I'm. It depends. One is, and they're both by Plugin Alliance. One is Sublifter,
Okay.
and then the other one is for more for synths called Subsynth.
Okay. Nice.
And so I don't know if you've heard of anyone, if you heard of those or
Mm-mm.
messed around with those at all.
Sublet. I'm writing it down though,
Yeah.
so I can fuel my plugin addiction. All right. Yeah. Sublifter and Subsynth.
Yeah.
No, I haven't used them. I have to check them out.
Okay.
Oh, from
Sausage for
Brainworks. Yeah, Brainworks, man, they make dope stuff. I love it.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. My second question is completely separate.
Okay.
different. I was wondering if you know of any genres of music that don't necessarily require sting endings.
I would say ambient music. Be it's like it's not like a hard sting. It still kind of ends on the note, at least when I do them. But that's
Mhm.
one of those styles of music like you don't need the big like dramatic hit sting ending. Like literally, you just play the resolving note and just let it end. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that would be like one style where it's just like you don't have to think too hard in terms of
Right.
that. But yeah, I think that's the only one I can really think of where they're not looking for that unless they request a fade out.
So if it's like Afro beat or I don't know, um, I don't know. I was just trying to. I just didn't know if they were. I'm trying to think of other genres. It escapes me right now. But I was just curious if there are ones that you can kind of get by without it sometimes.
Yeah,
Without having the sting ending. I
yeah,
typically put them on everything right now, but I was just curious.
yeah. Nah, man. I feel like anything with, especially anything with drums and percussion and things like that. Yeah, like, I always just put a sting in it. Like there's been one time where a publisher like literally said, "Hey, you know, at like extend the last hook and then like fade it out for like
Hmm.
however many seconds." I was
Yeah.
surprised, honestly. It was it was Paramount. Paramount was like faded out. I was like, this is weird.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Um, but yeah, I've just always done the sting endings with that one exception being ambient music where it would just it's sort of a sting, but it's just hitting the note that the result the tonic or the root note of the scale.
All
That
right.
was it.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Cool. Alrighty.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem, man. Take it easy.
You too.
The good old faithful sting ending. We need the name of that bass plugin Jason Carpenter using on his track. I think did he ever post it the other week when we did the live reviews? That bass was crazy. The J Switte genre does the J Switte genres don't have sting endings, as we've heard on the every Friday night. J Switte is the exception. He just like does whatever he wants, and we're okay with it. Yeah, the LW caught caught the pause. Usually I throw the pause in there too. That's what, man. Whoever named that, their characters. Um, the the whole graphical interface is, yeah, they're silly for that. I'm still waiting on Sting ending shirts 3 years later. I know we got to make that happen, right? But yeah, Scarby Sunbase by Native Instruments. Oh, was that the one? Oh yeah. Wait, have I ever used this? I don't know. I think I've used the Scarby. I don't know if I used the. I might have. Now I'm telling you, man. Like sometimes it sounds different when someone else uses it. Like you could have used the same thing, but for some reason, man, when you hear it when somebody else did it and you don't know what was used to make it, it makes it sound completely different. But yeah, that thing was basing. So for those who don't know, we'll be doing live music reviews in about 6 minutes here after this stream. If you guys have any other questions, drop them in the chat. I got time for a couple more before we log off of this joint. My initial thought was a Native Instrument plugin. I have Scarby J bass. I know for sure I've used the J bass. Retrograde bass guitar by Teletone Audio is pretty good in my opinion. Dope. Gotta check that out. There's so much good stuff out here, man. And a lot of things are reasonable too now. Like, I mean, you can you can build up like a nice little, go-to library of plugins for, a nice decent budget without breaking the bank. Gospel Musician brand has super precise bass and key plugins. Oh yeah, 100%. The tool is one thing, but it ain't nothing without the application. 100%. I mean, listen, we hear that every day on the internet, man. These production tools are like highly accessible, but it still takes skill, man, skill and experience to like get the sound out of this stuff and to put something together that somebody wants to pay for. So yeah. Let's see. I had a win last week. I don't post a lot because really I like to see everybody else's wins. I'm just over here just working and just like, maybe I should share a win every now and then. But had a win. Heard back from a music supervisor. Was it last week or the week before last? About a track that is getting used on an episode of a show that I still can't talk about. So, but yeah, I've learned some things in that experience. I'm gonna share what I've learned with the community, the Sync Producer Hub community. I'll make like a video and post that at some point, like in the next day or so. But yeah, there was a couple things that I learned in this particular situation. I think could be helpful and useful. So I'll share that. But yeah, so that'll be cool. It was, love waking up to those nice little emails saying, hey, we would like a license request. Here's the details. Send us information. Boom. So that was good. That was a good start. That was a good start to the shoot. What was that? A Monday or something? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, thank you. I'm gonna self DJ horn. Oh man. All right, y'all. We're gonna get ready, man. We're gonna get ready for these live music reviews. If you have never attended one of these, you don't want to miss it. Stick around on the YouTube channel. For my Sync Producer Hub members, you guys have that link in the community on the calendar. And we're gonna see if music is ready for TV and film. If you want to learn how to produce, prepare, and pitch placement-ready music for TV, then Sync Producer Hub is where we do all of that. We teach you, we give you the curriculum, but then we also give you the support to help you along the way. So if you want details on that, then just go to syncproducerhub.com. Check that out. Also, if you're in Atlanta or want to be in the Atlanta area, this November 9th, we're having a conference. Me and my guy, Jay Will, partnered up and put on the Shades of Sync conference so that we can bring these untapped sync opportunities to you in real life, in person. We're going to bring in a bunch of our sync friends and sync professionals and sync vets and just from all different lanes in this space, not just producers, not just writers, but people from all different perspectives. And just really share a bunch of info that day. It's going to be super dope. Yeah. We also have like, for the people the ticket holders, we have like a special opportunity for them as well, which is going to be dope. I don't even think any other conference has done this before, but we're going to do it because it's all about creating opportunities, especially for BIPOC and women creators. So just go to shadesofsync.com to get details on that. And hopefully I'll see y'all in the building, man. I'm super excited. So that's it, man. I am out. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.